The opening words this morning are from Erica Hewitt. Good morning and welcome to this liberal religious congregation, the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Niagara Falls. My name is Donna Deyermond, and I like to say I'll be your spirit guide today. Some of us are bringing our best selves to this place, and some of us are bringing our struggling selves, including pieces we might be ashamed of. All of us are welcome here, and all of us are loved. Some of us already have open hearts, and some of us aren't quite there yet because our hearts have gotten a little beaten up this past week, and we might have forgotten how to trust and be open. Your heart is welcome here, no matter how bruised. We welcome you among us. All of us are imperfect, but we're here to drop our defenses and trust that whatever happens in worship is powerful and life-giving. Together, we affirm that this day, our being together can make each of us braver, more compassionate, and wiser than when we woke up this morning. We welcome you here. And we will do our chalice lighting. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of Freedom. And our first hymn is Morning Has Broken.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the
And if you turn to the back of your hymnal, you'll find our responsive reading, which is number 576. A litany of restoration. If, recognizing the interdependence of all life, we strive to build community, the strength we gather will be our salvation. If you are black and I am white, if you are female and I am male, if you are older and I am younger, if you are progressive and I am conservative, if you are straight and I am gay, if you are Christian and I am Jewish, if we join spirits as brothers and sisters, the pain of our aloneness will be lessened, and that does matter. Okay, we're now going to have our new member ceremony. Erica is going to look after that.
Everybody should have the new members affirmation in their leaflet. If you look at the affirmation, we're gonna have our new member do the affirmation, then the values we share, I highlighted everything in yellow that we're gonna read together. And then we have 6 bullet points because we have the new words now instead of the 7 principles. I'm gonna ask for 6 volunteers. I'm just gonna come around and different people are gonna read each one. And then on the back, it's highlighted or the congregation reads together. Okay?
After much thought and meditation, this spiritual path is the one I have freely chosen. To this congregation, I pledge my talents, time, financial support, and love. I pledge that I will not cease in my quest for spiritual knowledge. I accept fully the responsibilities inherent in the life that encompasses the values we share.
And then together.
Is a vow that hold us together and is at the center of our shared values. The values we share include all the following, which we hold as inseparable and deeply interconnected.
Interdependence. We honor the independent web of all existence and acknowledge our place in it.
Pluralism. We are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology.
Justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all feel welcome and can thrive.
Transformation. We adapt to the changing world.
Generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope.
Equity. We declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion.
And then all together, the congregational covenant.
It's always good to have new people joining us.
I didn't know. We have, I guess, can you tell me, Patty?
I don't want to embarrass them, but we have 2 new members as of about 5 minutes ago, Marshall and Eric.
So Marshall and Eric, can you please come up?
She did. She meant to set you up.
So, was Eric well, or?
Thank you.
Now, these, you could say those words or not say them words, that's up to you. So you two are going to read these together, the top paragraph, new members affirmation.
After much thought and meditation, this spiritual path is the one we have freely chosen. To this congregation, we pledge our talents, time, financial support, and love. We pledge that we will not cease in our quest for spiritual knowledge. We accept fully the responsibilities inherent in the life that encompasses the values we share.
And then the congregation on the back, the congregation will come again. We can read it one more time.
Thank you.
We welcome you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Bring it to you.
Okay, great. That's
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Each week we come to this church bearing the joys and the concerns of real life. At this time, we would like to share some of the more significant events that have happened this past week. So please come up, take the mic, and tell us about your joys or your sorrows, and light a candle for yourself and those around us who share your feelings. Anyone want to? Marge has got the mic. Maybe she wants to start us off.
I will. The surgery was successful. No AFib. So I couldn't be happier. It wasn't as bad a procedure as I was expecting. I'm still not 100%, but I'm working on it. Thank you.
Wonderful.
I don't think I have anything in particular, no big event. We didn't do anything special this week, I don't think, but it's been so lovely with the weather changing that I've just been able to enjoy the day. I've just been able to watch Emerson play, and we had a little dog. We're watching my friend's dog. She's up in Churchill now for the next 6 months. So we have the dog again, and he's playing with the dog, and we're going to the park and enjoying the sunshine. And even today is a great day, which Lou taught us it was the most colorful of all.
That's right.
But it's just joyful, and I got a message from Marge on Tuesday that her surgery went well, and it made me very happy, very, very happy for her. So she can continue playing Jenga with Emerson and having fun. And we were watching videos of, flicking through pictures this morning, and we watched our videos of Marge and Emerson playing Jenga when she watches them while I'm at book club, and it's just a good day.
Good. Do we have any other joys and concerns?
So joyful for Marge.
Well, mine's just kind of simple, but as most of you know, I fly high-powered rockets, and lately I've been just flying the low power because I haven't had much time to work on the bigger ones. Because as I've talked before, I've been taking care of my parents. There's good news on that end, so it's actually two joys I have. With my parents, I got home care are going to come in to their house. They'll only do 1 day a week at first. Kind of give me a little bit of relief that I need. And then still have my Aunt Donna I hired to help. I'm going to keep her, may drop her by a day when the other home care people are there. So that's good news on that part. But as far as, taking care of them, the point is that I spend a lot of time doing that, and I hardly have any time to do things that I enjoy doing, like my rocketry. So yesterday, the joy was I made it to Torrey's farm near Penn Yan, New York, 2-hour drive from here. And unfortunately, I got there just in time because I was able to launch at least one of my rockets. Its name was the Enterprise.
Great.
And the Enterprise is just a rocket. It's not shaped like the Starship on it. It just says Star Trek, and it says Enterprise. And I was thinking to myself, the rocket flew perfectly, and landed. I recovered it. And this is all just before a huge amount of rain came in. And anyways, so I ended up having to leave, but at least I got one rocket off. And the cute thing about the Enterprise is that, I don't know if it's a cute thing or not, but during World War II, we had an aircraft carrier named the Enterprise. And the nickname was, they called it Lucky Enterprise. And the reason why I'm saying this about my model rocket is because I've lost a lot of bigger rockets over the last year or two at Torrey's farm. And for some reason, this rocket seems to have a lot of luck with it. I always get it back.
Thank you. Do we have any other joys or concerns? Yeah.
Okay, my name's Meg. Concern and joys. This past weekend, I guess I was on a movie binge or something like that, and I watched the story of Baynard Rustin and RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I was fired up. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been my hero for a long, long time. And Lou and I went a few weeks ago to the Quaker meeting, and it also lighted my need to movement, okay? I can sit at my home bitching, I can come to church bitching, but I can come outside and do something, but it can be nonviolent. Which reminded me, like Mahatma Gandhi, there's so many giants that have walked before us. So it just raised hope in me that there can be change, but I've got to move.
Very good. And you're right, we all have to move. Do we have anyone else who has something to share? No? Meg, do you want to light one last candle? Just one more for all of the unspoken joys and concerns? Thank you. And next, the weekly offering honors the efforts that we all make to keep the doors of this church open and welcoming to all who pass through them. So we'll pass the plate. Please give generously to support our mission, which is to be a welcoming congregation for everyone, no matter where you come from, who you love, or what you believe in. generosity. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. We're going to do a little meditation before we start, and the writer, Elandria Williams, suggests that we sit with both feet on the floor, if you feel like doing that. She starts with, put your feet down because we're about to do embodiment. Close your eyes, breathe in and breathe out. When you hear the word liberation, liberatory spirit, liberatory life, liberatory possibilities, what does that conjure in your soul? When you hear, we are the liberating force, spirit, light, and love, what does that conjure in your spirit? When you hear that we have the power to transform the world around us, what does that mean in your bones? When you hear, we are the people that we have been waiting for, we are, how does that feel in your blood? We are the light, we are the wisdom, we are the ancestors, we are those yet to come. How do we fully hold all of that in ourselves? Open your eyes and look at the people around you and go out and organize. Move, as Meg says. And now we'll have a moment of silent reflection. In his new book, Liberalism as a Way of Life, Alexandre Lebebvre begins by asking us to consider the question, where do I get my values? It's a very valid question at this point in time. Why? Lebebvre tells us, if you look at the largest Anglophone liberal democracies, you will see that significant numbers of citizens in those countries claim they do not have a religion. In the US, it's 30%. The United Kingdom, 53%. Canada, 32%. Australia, 40%. New Zealand, 49%. Even as recently as 50 years ago, the majority of those westernized countries would have answered that their values come from a religion or a spiritual tradition. Now, you know, I have never been one to believe that you have to have religion to have values. But as Lebebvre points out, having it does help us on several fronts, including self-knowledge, self-awareness, self-development, and self-preservation. So I'm sure you notice that the operative word here is self. How do we know ourselves if we do not make time in our lives to reflect on our innermost thoughts, to process our experiences, and to hold a mirror up so that we see ourselves as others see us? If we don't put ourselves into an appropriate setting where we can consider these parts of ourselves, then when do we do this self-examination? Where else can we find the connections with others who are like-minded in this pursuit of the Socratic ideal, which was, the unexamined life is not worth living? There is a trend toward thinking that liberalism can fill the void left by the lack of religion, spirituality, or philosophy in one's life. Some might even answer the question of where they get their values with the word liberalism. Liberalism, David Brooks says, has evolved into a system that respects human dignity and celebrates individual choice, rejects the practice of judging others, and hopes, excuse me, to build fair systems of cooperation so each person can freely pursue their goals. Brooks' definition of liberalism sounds ideal to us Unitarian Universalists. It demands respect for autonomy and personal space. It doesn't condone hypocrisy and snobbery. It's a live and let live concept, embracing tolerance. According to a Gallup poll done last year, 1/3 of the population of the United States considers themselves to be liberal. So 1/3, that's approximately 113 million Americans. How many of these belong to UU churches? 148 through 232. So what's going on? Why aren't many of those unchurched individuals coming to our churches? Another question that I find myself, my friends, and my colleagues asking is, what is it about authoritarian populism that is so attractive it prompted 50% of Americans to vote for Trump, and it has paved the way for authoritarians and dictators to make large inroads in other democratic countries? These are complicated questions that demand complicated answers, and we can't figure it all out one Sunday morning, but maybe we can figure out some of it. I remember being young once, and I recall spending entire evenings talking with my friends about the big questions, even when I wasn't in college taking philosophy classes. I was not raised in a religious family, and if my friends had been raised with religion, most of them were rebelling against it as young adults. But we still asked, why are we here? Who made the universe? Do we have souls? What happens after we die? It was the age of Aquarius, after all. I was too straight-laced to consider anything other than alcohol and maybe a little bit of weed at the time. But a lot of people were seeking answers to these universal questions using mushrooms, LSD, and even some more exotic substances like peyote. It was actually, when you look back about it, an exciting time, spawning the hippie movement, Haight-Ashbury, Woodstock, and a lot of great bands whose songs are still popular and known today. There were movies like Easy Rider, books that were trips themselves, such as the writings of Carlos Castaneda and Kurt Vonnegut. Jack Kerouac's On the Road, which was written in 1957, was so popular that a cult built up around it. The musicals, Hair, Jesus Christ Superstar, Tommy came out, or were they musicals or rock operas? I don't know. Are you with me on this trip down memory lane? The 60s and 70s were definitely a part of a liberal era. It was make love, not war, turn on, tune in, drop out, and love is all you need. There were flower children. There were peace protests. There was a connection between people. Just listen to these notable quotes. The deepest peace we will ever know is when we tenderly touch the heart and soul of another. Author unknown. There was a connection to the earth. Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet. Thich Nhat Hanh. There was laughter. I have made such a mess of it of my life that it turned into an art. Matt Baker. Leave nothing but footprints. Kill nothing but time. Author unknown. I still know Unitarian Universalists today who abide by Joseph Gallivan's words, old hippies don't die, they lie low until the laughter stops and their time comes around again. Well, here's the buzzkill. What does David Brooks say about liberalism today? In his column on liberalism, he writes, liberal societies can seem a little tepid and uninspiring. Liberalism tends to be non-metaphysical. It avoids the big questions like, why are we here? Who made the cosmos? What happened to us? How did flower power evaporate and the colorful, risk-taking generations of the 60s and 70s miss the boat on bringing their inspiration and their joie de vivre into future generations? They passed on their liberalism, but it seems that a lot of the life went out of it. The definition of liberalism is that it is a social and political philosophy based on support of individual rights, civil liberties with emphasis on individual freedoms, and democracy and/or social equality. Liberalism is associated to a great extent with treating each other with respect for each person's rights as an individual and also respect for law and order. By putting so much emphasis on individuality, we lose sight of the benefits of being in relationship with others. We look at people for what they do with their lives and how they treat others, but we neglect to ask more intimate questions. Are they brave? Are they loyal? Or are they pious? Meaning just not extravagantly spending every dollar they earn on themselves or in their own self-interest? Do they show love? Would they sacrifice their lifestyle for the betterment of someone else or a cause that doesn't directly benefit them? These are things our liberal society has lost its grip on, and there are consequences. As David Brooks says, liberal society can be a little lonely. Yes, it can. I would dare to say that it seems liberal culture has lost some of its soul. If we look at what Lebebvre is pointing out, we see that liberalism has roots in religion and spirituality, but it has grown away from those roots and pretty much become a pragmatic dogma. Consider what Rabbi Jonathan Sachs says. A contract is about interests. A covenant is about identity. It is about you and me coming together to form an us. That's why contracts benefit, but covenants transform. Measure those words against the liberalism of today. Liberalism is trying to stand alone, separate from tradition, culture, or spirituality. There is nothing patriotic or soulful about liberalism. Liberalism today is too much in people's heads and not enough in their hearts. Now let's apply this thought process to the MAGAs. These are people who are looking for something more than individualism and idealism. Brooks calls what they are seeking faith, family, soil, and flag. They want to feel that they belong to something bigger than themselves. They do not choose loneliness. They choose camaraderie. Paula Gribble wrote a short essay that was published on the UUA.org website, where she describes how she, her friend, and their families became UUs. One day, while talking about how the people in her church each had different beliefs, the friend's daughter got kind of frustrated, and she said, "I don't care what some people believe. What do we believe?" Gribble had to agree with the girl. There is a point where we all have to figure out what we believe. It reminded Gribble of a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote: "A person will worship something. Have no doubt about that. Therefore, it behooves us to be careful what we worship. For what we are worshiping, we are becoming." It wasn't until Gribble attended a General Assembly to sing in the choir that she felt the bond of faith. She said, "Thousands of UUs singing together and swaying to music brought me to a place I thought I would never find. Instead of liking it, I felt it. Instead of simply hearing it, I felt the words flow through my entire body. In that moment, we all believed in something together. We all put our hearts into something. This was church. This was my faith." Why aren't the 113 million Americans who are liberals breaking down our doors to join us? Was Emerson right? A person will worship something. You and I know that once you walk through these doors, or the doors of any UU church, there is an opportunity to participate in a liberalism that is also a faith. That behind our values is a true spiritual identity. That behind us is an institution that began in the 16th century. Behind us is a long history of talking about the big questions, from the pulpit, in small groups, in large groups. Many of the most remarkable thinkers in human history are contributors to our lexicon, and they come from all over the world and almost every belief system that you can name. What is missing from much of today's liberalism is the connection to transcendence. It's possible our churches need to do a little consciousness raising. Maybe we talk too much about social justice causes and not enough about where our hearts really are. We can't go back to the 60s and 70s, but we can resurrect some of the flower power associated with those times. We can emphasize our rituals, like the welcoming new member ceremony, our experiences with the big questions, our joyful music, our connection to each other, and to the big blue marble that we float on through space. In our churches, every week, and on weekdays too, in a lot of cases, there are many moments to find what Gribble found at the General Assembly. The truth is, we all believe in something together. We believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that there is deeper meaning to life than what we see on the surface, and that meaning calls for exploration. These beliefs, I think, run deeply through our souls. In the words of another hippie, Joni Mitchell, we are stardust, we are golden, and we've got to get back to the garden. So be it, and blessed be. And we will now sing number hymn 95.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere.
I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere. Our closing words this morning come to us from Emily Richards. Our work here this morning is at an end, and our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love. The work of trusting that we are on the right path. The work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us. The work of engaging in that which makes us whole. The work of deeper understanding and commitment. The work of letting go of that which does not serve us. The work of radical exclusion. The work of collective liberation. The work of this beloved community. A beloved community of which we are all part, a place where we are welcomed, respected, valued, cherished, a place where we belong. Go in peace, amen, and blessed be. And will you join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot to put them in my list. Yes, we need announcements before we do extinguishing the chalice.
And the announcements are, we're going to have our annual meeting directly after service. Do not go downstairs. All the new members, it's going to be exciting, your first annual meeting. It shouldn't take long, and then we'll go downstairs after the meeting.
Okay, are there any others, or? And
lots of food.
This is a save the date announcement. All right, we have our, I don't want to say annual party, but this year's party for our membership is going to be on July 23rd. It's a Wednesday at LaSalle Yacht Club. And for anyone that didn't join us last year, this is fully funded by the church. This year's theme is going to be recognizing our speakers. And we're going to be asking 4 of our members to speak on behalf of each of the speakers and introduce them. So there'll be more announcements coming as time goes on, but I just wanted to make sure everybody saves the date, July 23rd, Wednesday, for LaSalle Yacht Club.
I'm saving it. I'm going to be here. Live and in person. Any other announcements? No? Okay. All right, now we can extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, of community, or the fire of existence. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Okay, so this is how I wrote this week's postlude selection. So, as usual, anything could happen. There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. There's an eternal sacred circle. We are only part of it. There's a divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark of it. There's a divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark of it. We are only a part of it. We're a part of it. We're a spark of it. Here is one voice, we choose survival, and we start to make an art of it. Now is the moment for revival. We're at the heart of it, and we are only part of it. At the heart of it. Is that anything like it? Okay.